Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the coverage of the 63rd annual Shizuoka Hobby Show there in Shizuoka, Japan. This is going to be part 2 of 3 videos that I want to do on the Shizuoka Hobby Show this year. So the first video was obviously just kind of all about the Perfect Grade Unleashed Nu Gundam. So if you guys missed that video, you can go back and check it out. Talked kind of really in depth about everything that we know about it so far and kind of what we should expect and what further information may still be coming out about that in the future. But now in part 2, I want to go over basically kind of everything else from Bandai, including some Gunpla and some other stuff like 30 minutes missions, armored core stuff and things like that. And then in the third and final part, I want to go through some like highlights from like everything else, Kotobukiya, Hasegawa, Aoshima, and like all these other companies. I'm not going to go through like everything from the hobby show because obviously there's a lot, but just like some highlights of basically stuff like what you would expect to see here on my channel, stuff that I'm particularly interested in, so stuff like that. So that'll be in part 3, so look forward to that video coming up next very soon. But for now, let's dig into what Bandai had. So like the Perfect Grade Nu Gundam was the big announcement, of course, and that was kind of like the main focus. They had some other stuff. Nothing really seemed like, too groundbreaking really, but there were some pretty cool things there. Like, for example, we had the Master Grade Barbatos Lupus that was previously teased. Now we got like a full look at that, including a full like CGI render image. And then they had a couple of display models there as well. This is going to be coming out in November for 6,500 yen. So we'll have this hopefully in time for Christmas. Will be really nice. It looks really good. So I had previously mentioned before that the Barbatos Lupus, probably my least favorite of like the 3 versions of the Barbatos, the main 3 that we see in the series. But I gotta say, this kit actually looks really, really nice. I love how like beefy and bulky that it looks, much more so than the HG, I feel like, and it looks really, really nice. Of course, with the Master Grade Barbatos and the Master Grade Vidar recently just released, both kits were amazing. The Vidar I really, really liked a lot, and so I'm really looking forward to this one as well. They did also have a teaser image there for an expansion set that's going to be coming out for this. That's currently being planned. This is probably going to be, well, not probably, I mean like pretty much guaranteed to be a premium Bandai exclusive expansion set, but it looks like it's going to include like the big massive sword, which if I remember correctly, this is basically meant to recreate the scene when it's fighting with the Hashmal, where it takes the sword from the Helmage rain car, if I remember correctly, and then it has like the effect parts like for the eyes, and then it looks like maybe it has the different parts on the back of the arm for like the cannon, different cannon parts, like grenade launcher or whatever parts, I'm not sure, like rocket launcher parts. There's different armament on the back of the arm. We saw that with the HG expansion set, did have those parts in it, and it looks like from just this image that we have there, that it's got different parts on the back of the arm as well. So it looks like it's probably going to be, that's going to be the main 3 things for this expansion set that's going to be coming out: the different weapon, different armaments on the arm, and the effect parts for the eyes. So that looks pretty cool. We got a couple of new things coming in the HG Ironblood Orphans line as well. And at first when I saw these, I just kind of assumed that these were premium Bandai releases, but it appears that maybe, I guess they're not. First one being the HG Gundam Zagan, and we don't have the price or release date for these yet. I would assume just kind of towards the end of the year, probably after August definitely, but probably like October around that time, I would guess, for the release of these, October, November. This Gundam looks really, really cool. I really like the unique armaments and kind of how big and bulky this one looks, just because it's very wide with these big like shields that can transform into claws and stuff. So both of these releases that are going to be coming out are just a part of like the side story that we've got. Other stuff from like the Marcosius was another example that was another release, kind of like side story releases from the HG Ironblood Orphan series. So the Gundam Zagan looks really, really cool there. And then we're also getting another version of the Rhodey, the Monkey Rhodey here, and so this one looks really cool, as well as I guess like 2 different versions that you can make: the Monkey Rhodey and Monkey Club Rhodey, something like that. This one as well, we don't have any release information for it yet, but also looks really cool. So the Man Rhodey was one of my favorites of the HG Ironblood Orphans line. I really enjoyed that kit a lot. It's just fun, small little kit, like nothing crazy, but it's just a really fun little kit. And so looking forward to this version of the release as well. Also really like the colors of it. Of course, it's got that tan and orange color scheme, always good. But then we did also get something else entirely new here that was entirely unexpected with the entry grade Wing Gundam. This is going to be coming out in October for 1,000 yen, and it looks really, really nice just in terms of like being a really simple model kit, and it looks like Bandai's done a really good job of not having any seam lines on this. So if you look at the way like the shoulders are designed and the legs are designed, it's going together in a really nice way. It just kind of shows the like how great Bandai's design technology can be when it comes to these model kits, to be able to design this kit to be as color accurate as it is and having no seam lines essentially on it. It looks really, really good. I mean, I know it's going to be a pretty simple model kit as the entry grade series goes, but I mean, if you were looking for a nice simple model kit of the Wing Gundam, I think this is going to be a really, really good option. Obviously, as we're seeing it like without any paint on it doesn't really look that impressive. It looks a bit very much like a toy, I think, but obviously with a little bit of panel lining, a little bit of work on that, or painting, of course, it's going to look really nice, I think. So that one kind of out of nowhere, but really nice surprise for that one. Of course, we've got the real grade Wing Zero kit coming out later this year as well. Then moving into Gundam G-Quax, here we have a couple of releases. The HG Rikdom Gaia Ortega use is one that it's been like announced and it's been shown for like a few weeks now. But they did have that there on display, and we got the release information for this that's coming out in September for 3,300 yen. Really cool version of the Rikdom here with the G-Quax version of that, having like the third leg as a backpack on it. Super unique design. Definitely. I mean, if you're just looking at it from the front without seeing the backpack at all, I mean, it doesn't look, too different from like a standard Dom Rikdom, but that leg backpack is certainly very, very a unique aspect to this. So really cool. Looking forward to that one a lot. And we've also got the HG G-Quax Char's Zaku is going to be coming out in December at the end of the year for 2,200 yen. Essentially with any version of like Char's Zaku, it's essentially just like a recolor there in the Char's pink color scheme. It's got the spiked shoulders on it, and ultimately not going to be, too different from different versions of the Zaku we've already got kind of coming out in the line, but it'll be Char's Zaku, so it'll be 3 times better of a model kit, I guess, maybe. And then we've got the new version of the Gelgoog, the Gelgoog Bokata. That one's coming out in June, so just next month. This one, another one that we've seen before and we've already kind of known about for a while, but they had that one there on display. This one also looks really, really good. Really looking forward to building one of the G-Quax Gelgoog kits, which I do not have. The first one is released already, and I've not been able to get my hands on it quite yet, so I'm really looking forward to checking that one out when I get the chance. I really like the design of that one quite a lot. So we did have one more HG G-Quax kit that was shown here, but it's a premium Bandai kit, so it's a perfect transition for us to go into talking about some premium Bandai stuff here now. That with the HG G-Quax Sayla's light cannons. This is obviously a version of the light cannon kit that's in sort of like the original Gundam tricolors. It also includes the Gundam hammer, which you can see there, the kind of ball and chain weapon there that it has, the mace weapon. We don't have the price or release date for this one yet, but again, I'm imagining this will come out towards the end of the year. This year, but it looks pretty cool. I do not really care so much for the fact that the chain is like in this just like permanent S shape. Hopefully you get like a couple of different options for the chain shape for that. So if you wanted to pose the kit so it actually looks like it's like swinging it, so hopefully you get like this kind of curved, longer extended version of the chain. So it's something that we will see more details about later, and hopefully that's one thing that's included with that, some different options for that chain part, but it does look pretty cool. We did also have the premium Bandai version of the Master Grade Blaze Zaku Phantom. This is the Dierka Alsman version. This is coming out for 4,900 yen. Basically just a recolor of the Blaze Zaku Phantom kit, which we've had a number of releases of already. But if you are a fan of this kit, which I definitely am, it's a great kit. I've got a couple different versions of it myself. Really, really nice kit. If you guys have not built it yet, I would really recommend it. But this version, just having the Blaze Zaku Phantom backpack with the missile pods there, and then also has this like kind of gray and black color scheme. Pretty cool looking color scheme on the kit. But if you already had this version in a different color scheme, you could obviously just repaint it to this color scheme if you wanted, but that one looks nice. We got the P-Bandai HG Destiny Gundam Spec 2 Final Battle Image color version of that coming out for 2,700 yen. pretty cool with the like red inner frame for that. It's pretty unique. Kind of reminds me of this guy over here, the Amazing Strike Freedom Gundam. Had that metallic red inner frame for that, so kind of similar, and a little bit different colors for that, basically with the, it's another one of these like Spec 2 versions where it's just like kind of a little bit different colored essentially, but a really nice looking version of the Destiny Gundam there. It's got the effect parts and everything with that, so that looks cool. We got another release in the Premium Bandai release here anyway from the HG Witch from Mercury line, the Gundam Neon. It looks really, really cool. I've still not watched the series entirely yet, only the first couple episodes. So I don't know if this ever appeared in the anime or if this is something from like a manga or side story or something like that, would be my guess. But you guys can let me know. Anyway, the kit does look pretty cool. At first, I had to like check which series that it comes from because it doesn't, at least from what we can see of the kit so far, it doesn't immediately strike me as something from Witch from Mercury. It looks like it could be just as easily something from like Gundam Age or Gundam Build Fighters or kind of as something else. I don't know exactly, but it does look really cool. This one's coming out for 3,000 yen, so that's a kind of a little bit higher end in terms of pricing for an HG kit, so it's got a fair amount of stuff there on it though, as you can see, so probably will come with something like a stand in there too or something, so that might be something that's adding to the price, possibly. I'm not sure, but it is definitely a little bit higher than the standard Witch from Mercury kits as far as I can remember, so. All right, one more thing here for Premium Bandai is the HG Gundam Zilius from the new Gundam 8 manga. So this one just kind of, the design was just shown not too long ago, like a month ago, less than a month ago, and now we're getting a model kit of it straight away, so that's awesome. The Gundam design is really, really quite unique. This one's coming out for 2,700 yen later this year. We don't know the release date for it yet, but pretty unique design. There's certainly some aspects of the design that I like more than others. The spiky bits on the head I'm not super into, but definitely a really unique design. So hopefully we'll be able to get my hands on this and do a review for you guys and check it out because it does look like a really unique one. This one kind of reminds me of, my first thought when like looking at the art for this Gundam is that it looks like someone tried to do basically like what we did before with like the universe crossover contest, the UC versus AU contest, where the point of the contest was like to take a design from like an alternate universe design and make it look like it was from Universal Century. This really makes me think that it looks like a Iron-Blooded Orphans Gundam design, but they tried to make it look like it's from Universal Century. So kind of like a mix-up of those like design aesthetics going on with this one, I feel like. But it's a pretty cool design. All right, moving on to some other exclusives, but Gundam-based exclusives here. There's quite a few that they had to show, mostly just like kind of recolor and clear color kind of stuff. So we'll just kind of go through these here. The Master Grade SD Gundam Barbatos Iron Blood coating version coming out for 6,500 yen. I actually really like the look of this. Usually like these like color, like Gundam-based color variants and like clear color kits and stuff like that, I'm not super into, but I actually really like the look of this version of the MGSD Barbatos. Just number one, it's a really great kit. I really like the kit a lot, and I think in this kind of dark metallic kind of coloring like this, I think it actually looks really good. So I might try to get my hands on that one as well. That looks really nice. And then we had the HG Unicorn Gundam 03 Phoenix Destroy Mode Gold and Silver coating set. So it's 2 kits, and I'm pretty sure that this came out already. I swear that this was already a thing, but maybe I was wrong, or maybe that they were sold separately before, but now they're being sold as a set together for the whopping price of 20,000 yen. That's like obviously, you know, converted into yen, I don't know offhand, around $150, something like that. But usually as it goes for these coating kits, anytime if a kit is coated like that, usually just doubles the price. So I mean, imagining that the regular version of the Phoenix, the non-coated version, as far as I can remember, is probably around 4,000 yen, almost between 3,000 yen and 4,000 yen times 2, and then doubled. It kind of makes sense, the high price tag for that one, but that's quite a lot. Anyway, the Gundam Side F, so it's the Gundam base, but especially the Gundam Side F is the Fukuoka Gundam base there in Japan. They have exclusive releases like only for that location there. They're getting the entry grade Nu Gundam Axis Shock Image Color version coming out for 1,400 yen, just basically a recolor of the entry grade Nu Gundam there. But kind of interesting color variation there for that. It looks like that'll also include like some stickers for that, or at least a couple of stickers, something. So there's going to be a new HG Gundam Base exclusive Meadow. This one's coming out for 2,000 yen. It's kind of a part of this series of these. I don't know what the scaling for these is. It's something more like 120, 124, or 135th or something like that. These series of these like mobile worker kits that they're doing, and they're all like Gundam Base exclusives. So this is like the latest one of those and looks pretty cool there. And then for some clear color kind of stuff, we have the Master Grade Hyakushiki version 2.0 mechanical core coatings for 16,000 yen for this one. So again, another pretty high price point for this. This is one of those where it's got like the solid frame, and then the armor parts are clear, but they're coated on the inside. I think they just recently had one of these for the real grade Sazabi, I believe, right? Where it had that. But it looks really, really cool. So it's like clear yellow, but it's like metallic coated on the inside of the parts, and looks really, really interesting. So that does look pretty cool, I have to say. The HG Gundam Mark III clear color version of that's coming out for 2,600 yen. Just a kind of standard HG clear color version, and then the same thing here with the HG Infinite Justice Gundam Type 2 as well. Clear color version of that coming out for 3,300 yen. Usually for like the HG stuff in particular, and MGs, any time when it's just a clear color version, the price point should be the same. They don't usually change the price for just a clear color because there's nothing they're having to do differently about the production of the kit, just using a different color plastic, in this case a clear color plastic instead of a regular opaque color. It's only when it's like coated or has some special coating to it, usually then that means that it's going to be more expensive. So that's it for all the Gunpla stuff. Now moving on into the 30 minutes mission stuff. I actually didn't really see much of like just standard 30 minutes mission stuff really, but we did have some stuff that was shown from like the Armored Core 30 minutes mission stuff. So we had a lot of the stuff has already been shown, so it's not necessarily new, like the Rad CC3000 Wrecker is coming out in June for 3,500 yen. They had that on display there, as well as the Armored Core Weapon Set 5 was on display there as well. That one's coming out for 1,700 yen. We had the Balam Industries Melander there, that's coming out in June as well for 2,300 yen for that one. Really like the look of that. It's definitely on the lower end in terms of price, because as you can see, it's like a pretty basic model, but I really like the look of it actually. It's kind of pretty cool. And the armor on the kind of the totally opposite end of that, the Arquebus. This one's coming out in September for 4,800 yen. This one's a much more kind of elaborate design. This one much more bulky design, very different from the Melander, but that one looks pretty wild as well. And Armored Core Weapon Set 6 there as well, featuring some different weapons and stuff, coming out in September for 1,500 yen for that. So just basically kind of showing off a lot of the stuff that we already knew was coming out in the Armored Core lineup there. But they did also have a teaser box there for a 30 ml, and I don't know if I haven't seen anything about what the ML stands for, so I don't really know what this is going to be. And you can kind of see, those of you guys who might be more familiar with a lot of other different like mecha from, I don't know, some other different anime or video game or something like that, I'm guessing is what this is going to be. You might have some guesses. You probably have already figured out what this is, and you could let me know in the comments, but I don't know what that's meant to be here in just like this like shadow box that they have there for this 30 ml release that's coming soon. But looks kind of interesting there, very kind of skeletal looking design based on like what we can see at the moment, but you obviously can't see it very well. That's kind of the point. They did have a bunch of stuff there for the 30 Minute Sisters Idol Master series, and I'm not gonna kind of go through all of these because for the most part they're just kind of still continuing on making like the same kit where it's just like the same body and everything, like with some slight variations and basically just different head and hair parts to make the different Idol Master series kits. But they did have a special display there for the 20th anniversary UNI characters that are going to be there, Amami Haruka, Kisaragi Chihaya, and Hoshi Miki. And this is kind of one of those things, it's not something that I'm familiar with at all, but like looking at the post about this, that it's UNI as in like, so it's meant to sound like the English like you and I, like you and me, but it's like spelled in Japanese like you and I as in like AI, as in, I'm not sure exactly what the kanji is meant to be, but I would assume that it's meant to be like I, as in like the kanji for love. Just has the sound of I, so they kind of like to do this kind of play on words a lot there in Japanese with like the English word and like the Japanese word, how like the sound is the same, but like the meaning could be different, like that kind of thing. So anyway, so they had those characters there on display. Some other different 30-Minute Sisters premium Bandai releases there that they had. The Nyarenti Nyaboro Presto form is going to be 3,600 yen there. She's on her little motorcycle thing. And the Notirika Tratirika Komodo form of her, also 3,600 yen. She is on got her little submarine thing there, kind of. It's not a submarine. What are they called? It's a thing. It's like a jet ski, but it's going for going underwater. I forget the name for that anyway. But yeah, so a couple of P-Bandai 30-Minute Sisters releases there. They did also have a display for the 30-minute performance Bocchi the Rock characters there. So they got a new character that they were showing off, and then they had a couple of other new characters that were kind of teased with just like some sample images there of some other future releases from the 30 minutes performance series of model kits. They're basically like figurized kits, but in the 30 minutes performance series anyway, just different branding for them. All right, as for the 30-minute fantasy stuff, they had the new body there. The wizard was on display, so they have both versions, the Liber wizard and the Rosen wizard. And the Liber version and the class-up armor sets to go with the Liber version are coming out in July. The Rosen versions are going to be coming out in September. I don't know why there's a 2-month gap in between. It's kind of weird. But so we have the Liber Wizard, and then the class-up armor sets for that to make either the Liber Sorcerer or the Liber Enchanter. And obviously, with them being like the Liber versions, they have a kind of like lighter color scheme on those. And then the Rosen versions are going to be the darker color scheme. We have the Rosen Wizard, and like the main body, the Wizard, is coming out for 2,000 yen for both of them. And then the class-up armor for the Rosen Sorcerer and the class-up armor for the Rosen Enchanter. All the class-up armor sets are coming out for 700 yen each for those. We did have some just kind of other anime series stuff from Aura Battler Dumbine. We had the Premium Bandai announcement here for an R3 135 Bilbine kit. That's going to be coming out later this year for 5,500 yen. R3 line, you guys, I'm not sure if you may be familiar with it because there's only been like a small handful of R3 releases ever. It's basically sort of like MG, HG, that sort of like line, but yeah, they've not really made many R3 model kits. I have reviewed one of them of the R3, I think it was the Elgaim Mark II kit actually. A really cool kit there. So it's basically like a master grade version compared to like a high grade. So I don't know why they don't just brand it as master grade. But anyway, that's kind of pretty much what R3 is. And that line anyway. But we did also have shown there the next couple of Votom's weapon sets. So Votom's weapon set 7 and 8 were both on display. Those are going to be coming out for 1,800 yen and 2,200 yen respectively. Just some more weapons. I'm like baffled that they're up to weapon set 8 already. I feel like they made, you know, like 3 or 4 maybe, but there's like somehow I missed a couple there in between. So they're already up to the 8th option set that's going to be coming out for the HG Votom's line for their HG Scope Dog kit, basically. We did have the announcement of some new Super Robot Wars stuff here as well. HG Super Robot Wars Huckbane kit is coming out in December for 4,500 yen. So we've already had the Huckbane Mark II and Mark III, and now we're finally getting the original version. It's going to be coming out towards the end of this year, so we didn't have a colored prototype of that. It's just basically the uncolored prototype is what they had on display there, but pretty cool looking design. I gotta say, I'm not sure I like the design as much as I like the Mark II, I think is my favorite of the bunch, but that one will be coming out later this year. And just the Super Robot Wars line in general is really, really nice. So, I mean, so looking forward to checking that one out just because I've really enjoyed the line. So far. And on that note, we had a Premium Bandai announcement of 2 different versions of the Gespenst Mark II. So the regular Gespenst Mark II is coming out for 4,300 yen in blue. And then in green, we have the Caius version of that, also for the same price of 4,300 yen. It's the same kit, just in different colors. But yeah, the Gespenst was a really, really great kit. Really enjoyed that one a lot. The regular version is not a Premium Bandai release, and if you've not checked it out, I highly recommend that you do. But these different color versions, I gotta say, the kit does look really cool in both blue and green. Either of those versions do look pretty nice. In the Macross, there was some different Macross stuff there. They had like some acrylic stands and some different like 100 little character models that were coming out, I guess as like an option set or something like that you could get for your HG Macross kits here from Bandai, but it seemed like the only new one as far as I know, because I don't really follow this line very well, but they had the HG VF31C Siegfried there on display, and it looks like there's like 3 different forms that you can make with this. I guess Mirage, Farina, and Genus use versions. That'd be like the 31C, 31S, and 31E. All 3 versions were shown there. I think this is like one set that you can like choose to make it in like any one of these 3 variants, I believe. But again, I'm sorry that I'm not too familiar with Macross in general and these kits, but you guys can correct me if I was wrong about any of that information. But this is coming out later for 5,000 yen for the 31C Siegfried kit there. So let me know if I'm wrong or if there's any other additional useful information about that. There is another HG kit they had on display there, but it's one that's already been announced. It's coming out I think like next month or something. So, and like I said, there was some other Macross stuff, but this seemed like the only kind of new major announcement really that seemed kind of particularly noteworthy for me. Last couple things then, they are coming out with some new versions of their Planosaurus kits. So they're dinosaur model kits where you can build like the skeleton and like build the body parts like around it. Basically recolors of all the entire series, it seems like, of these to coincide with the Jurassic Park Rebirth film that's coming out later this year. And so they're like Jurassic Park branded recolors of all like the different Planosaurus kits, like the Tyrannosaurus. What else do they have there? All sorts of different stuff. The Quetzalcoatlus, the Spinosaurus, the Stegosaurus. There's a large sauropod there. I forget if it's Mamenchisaurus or what. Yeah, then like the Therizinosaurus and stuff too. So they had all that stuff there, which looks pretty cool. It's just recolors, and that line, it's interesting. It's nice. I think it's great for kids. I'm not too particularly interested in it. I love dinosaurs. I love Jurassic Park. Probably won't get any of those just because I'm just not really a fan of those as model kits for me personally. But like especially like I said for kids or if you're a big dinosaur fan, and they're pretty cool models. But I really hope that Bandai will also make some more of their museum like skeleton model kits that they were making with like the T-Rex and the Triceratops and the Mosasaurus model kits that they made with like the skeleton model kits, the Imaginary Skeleton series. Those ones were really, really cool, and hopefully we'll get some more in that line at some point. Last couple things here from Poképla. They had a whole bunch of Poképla stuff there on display, of course. The only thing really new that I noticed, I think, was the Poképla Quick Jirachi kits coming out. They had that there on display. Then they had a teaser image for a Poképla Quick Pichu model kit that's also going to be coming out later, so we'll see more about that. They also had another kind of like shadow box there for teasing the 59th and 60th releases in the regular Poképla. So not the Poképla Quick, but like the regular like posable Poképla model kits there for Miraidon and Koraidon are going to be coming out later in August and September, respectively, for 2,100 yen each for those. So those are pretty cool. And then last thing, they did have a big display for this new series of Unkosul Days, like clay model kits. Now, these are pretty interesting. I didn't notice this about these kits at first, but actually what it is, so it's going to be a model kit that comes with clay to make the actual, so if you guys don't know, Unko is poop. So these are basically poop model kits, poop characters that are very colorful and fun and have different accessories and stuff, but you make the actual poop part with clay, and it comes with like the plastic parts for making the mold, for making the clay bodies. You cut out the parts for making the mold and you put the clay in there and make your clay mold for the body, and then you cut out the rest of the plastic parts to make the accessories to stick onto it. It's a really, really goofy idea, but I mean, it's certainly very unique and very creative, and I'm sure it'll be fun for kids there in Japan. We'll have a ball with that. I don't think it'll be very popular here in the US. As far as I know, we will most likely be getting them here at USA Gundam Store, but I'm not sure. They're going to be very interesting. I don't know. I wasn't planning on like really caring at all about these kits, but I'm honestly kind of really tempted to just try one of them out now, especially with my kids. I'm sure would really love to check those out. So I might get one or two and like build with my kids and kind of share about the kits and the experience with you guys in a video later on once those come out. But they're pretty interesting looking anyway, to say the least. So on that note, as I said, a lot of this stuff is like the non-premium stuff and the non-exclusive stuff is going to be coming here to USA Gundam Store. So some of this stuff is up for pre-order already. A lot of this stuff will be coming up for pre-order later on. Again, any of this stuff that's not exclusive, so you can check out the link in the video description to USA Gundam Store. That does it, I think, for everything from Bandai. I don't think that I missed anything, but if I did, you guys can let me know absolutely in the comment section. And like I said, make sure to both check the previous video talking all about the Perfect Grade Unleashed Nu Gundam, and then check the following video, which is going to be going over some noteworthy stuff that's going to be coming out, some cool looking stuff that's going to be coming out from other companies like, again, Kotobukiya, Hasegawa, Wave, Kyoto, and more. So look forward to that video coming up next. But for now, guys, thanks so much for all of your support. Hopefully you enjoyed the coverage from Shizuoka, from Bandai's Shizuoka display there. Let me know what you're most excited about in the comment section. Is there anything that you're like really jazzed about, or are you just kind of feeling like, there wasn't really anything too much for me? There was like, on that note, I will say, like, I was a bit disappointed that there wasn't anything new for HG Universal Century. They did have the Gallus J there on display. I didn't mention it just because it's something that's coming out pretty soon, and it was announced previously. We've talked about it previously, but it was there on display and does look cool, and I'm looking forward to it. And we do have the new HG Iron Blood Orphans kits that are coming out, but hopefully we will get announcement of another new HG UC kit, hopefully pretty soon, if not by the end of the year. I would hope so. But anyway, that's it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for all of your support. Leaving a like if you enjoyed it, like I said, and then just making sure that you're subscribed if you're not subscribed yet. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Till next time, see you guys later. Bye.